Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I will be discussing the challenges faced by students, educators, and institutions during the transition to online teaching and learning at UNIKL MyTech, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic forced educational institutions worldwide to rapidly shift from the traditional face-to-face classroom to the online platforms. At UNIKL MyTech also, this transition was necessary to ensure the continuity of education while safeguarding health. However, this shift was not without its difficulties. Online teaching and learning issues refer to the various challenges encountered by all stakeholders involved in digital education. And these challenges impact both the effectiveness and learning and the overall student satisfaction, such as a poor or unreliable internet connection that disrupt the live sessions, and also the platform incompatibilities that prevent the smooth access to learning materials. Beyond the technical problems, students, especially at the postgraduate level, will face challenges such as a lack of a sense of community and peer interaction, which usually motivates learning, and also difficulty in understanding the learning objective without face-to-face guidance. So, together, these challenges will reduce the overall efficiency of online education and lower the students' satisfaction. It is essential to address this issue to improve the quality of digital learning environment. When COVID-19 hit, UNIKL MyTech, like many schools worldwide, had to quickly switch from face-to-face teaching to online learning. This sudden change brought many challenges for students, teachers, and the university itself. Even though many teachers were trained and had digital tools, problems like poor internet, technical issues with the online platforms, and the extra time needed to prepare the classes made things difficult. Students missed the social interaction and the sense of a community they had in physical classroom. This made online learning feel boring and less interesting, and it was harder for them to understand what they were supposed to learn. Teachers also found it hard to keep track on how engaged students were and to adjust their teaching methods, especially for the courses that need hands-on practice. UNIKL MyTech research show that while the university's support and facilities help students feel satisfied, there is still room to improve how courses are delivered and how teachers connect with the students online. Improving these areas will help make online learning better and keep the students motivated. Now let's talk about the objective. We want to talk about the real struggles that both students and teachers face when learning moves online. Many of us have experienced issues like unstable internet connection, confusing online platform, and the difficulty of staying motivated during the virtual classes. These challenges can make learning frustrating and overwhelming. Next, it's important to explore how this problem affects students' overall experience and success. When the technology is hard to use or motivation drops, students may feel lost and fall behind. This impacts not only their grades but also their enjoyment and confidence in learning. By understanding this effect, we can work together to make online learning clearer and more enjoyable and more supportive for everyone involved. Finally, we want to focus on postgraduate students who often study independently and may feel isolated or bored in online courses. Finding it meaningful ways to help them feel connected and engaged is crucial. This could include the interactive activities, regular check-ins, and the clear communication and of-course goal. When students feel a part of a community and understand the purpose of their studies, they are feel more likely to succeed and feel satisfied. I will go to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hadif bin KHAIRI. Now, I'm going to briefly present the key findings from my literature review on online teaching and learning issues. The COVID-19 pandemic forced a sudden shift to fully online education around the world. While this helped maintain learning during lockdowns, it also exposed several critical challenges that continue to affect both students and educators. In my review, I focus on three main types of issues, which is technological, pedagogical, and also social. Let's begin with technological challenges. Studies by Fernando Ferri, Patrizia Grifoni, and Tiziana Guzzo in 2020, and Malik Mubashir Hassan, Tabassum Mirza, and also Mirza Wasim Hussein in 2020 show that many students lack access to reliable internet and digital devices, particularly in low-income and rural communities. In many cases, families had to share one device between several children, or experience frequent connectivity problems. Even in technologically advanced countries, online platforms were overwhelmed by high usage. These gaps in access created serious disadvantages for many students, limiting their ability to fully participate in online learning. The second set of challenges is pedagogical. Online teaching requires different methods compared to face-to-face instructions. Florence Martin, Ting San, and also Carl D. Westin researched in 2020 found that while engagement was frequently studied, teacher preparation was not. Many educators were untrained in online teaching, lacked digital content skills, and struggled to keep students engaged. Especially for young children, online classes without interactive content became boring and hard to follow. Without the right teaching methods, students lost interest in motivation. Social and psychological issues were also major concerns. Studies by Fernando Ferri in 2020 observed that many students felt isolated, anxious, or disconnected from their classmates and teachers. The social challenges are mainly related to the lack of human interaction between teachers and students. The lack of physical spaces at home to receive lessons and support of parents who are working remotely in the same spaces. It also will have impact on motivation and also mental health. Students with disabilities were particularly affected as many online platforms did not accommodate their needs. Equity was also a key issue. Students from disadvantaged backgrounds face more barriers, leading to increase in educational inequality. To overcome these challenges, these researchers made several recommendations. Governments should invest in digital infrastructure and provide affordable internet and devices to students. Teachers need ongoing training in digital pedagogy and the use of interactive learning tools. Institutions should adopt a blended learning approach combining online and also in-person instruction to provide flexibility while maintaining social interaction. Finally, online content must be inclusive and accessible to support diverse learning needs. In conclusion, while online education offers flexibility and new possibilities, it also presents complex challenges. If we want online learning to be effective and equitable, we must address technology gaps, improve teacher readiness, and design inclusive systems. With thoughtful planning and investment, online learning can be more just an emergency response. It can become a lasting part of the future education. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad FAHAD HARIZ bin FAIZAL. So I will continue with methodology. So the first one is research design. The data was collected through a structured inline questionnaire containing closed questions using a Google form, allowing respondents to rate their level of agreement on various statements related online learning. Next, respondent of the study. In June 2025, a total of 63 students from various courses at Uniki Almatech respond to the question on online learning issue. The respondents' learning issue include first, second and third year students with 33 male and 30 female participants. The next point is data analysis. The question data was analyzed using descriptive statistics and shown in bar charts. Key areas include internet stability, understanding, communication, and motivations. A Likert scale measured response helping identify main issue in online learning at UniKL MyTech. The last one is research procedure. The study identified online learning issue at UniKL MyTech and used a Google Form questions to gather data on internet access, communications, certifications, and platform use. After a pilot test, the form was shared with students. Responses were analyzed using basic statistics to highlight key issues and suggest improvements. So, I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Faris bin KAMARUDZAMAN, and today I would like to talk about finding and discussion for our topic that is exploring online teaching and learning issues among students at UniKL MyTech. So as an institution like UniKL MyTech transition to a virtual learning platform, it became critical to understand student perception, experience and challenges. This study aims to explore the effectiveness of online teaching and learning from the student perspective and to identify areas for improvement. So for description of data, the study analyzed response from students at UniKL MyTech who participate in a structured online survey that is Google Form. The data set consists of 25 columns and include demographic data, for example like age, gender, causes, Likert scale, and multiple choice response, 290 structured question and 1 open-ended suggestion question. So for the sample sizes is 64 response with the data collection tools is Google Forms. So for the data analysis from the respondents, so from the question 1, that is overall satisfaction with online learning, that is the majority responded 3, which is a neutral by 31.2% that have a neutral experience, and some was pretty satisfied with their online learning experience. 23.4% feel satisfied and only 9.4% were very dissatisfied. So for the second question is most used platform. So for the most used platform, Google Meet and Microsoft Teams were dominant platform because of the simple interfaces, make it more enjoyable and much more easier to operate. So for the biggest challenges is difficulty for using at home, reaching a percentage of 31.2%. This is because due to Hari Raya holiday, where a lot of online classes and there is an ongoing preparation for Hari Raya. So with the internet issues and also unclear instruction is also a common problem and challenges for students. For the question 4 and question 5, that is internet and communication. Many face intermittent connectivity problem. This maybe have a problem with the internet connectivity such as bad networks through problem from the service provider or poor Wi-Fi at UniKL MyTech. So the communication with the lecturer is mostly rated as neutral to effective. This show a very different perspective of the student, where the student who feel it is ineffective maybe because of the way of the communication is different and they do not prefer it. For the question 11 to 14, we ask about the preferences and participation of student on the classes. So for the student prefer morning and afternoon classes is preferred, and few had no preferences. And students mostly agree lecturers are well prepared about the slides on online learning. This is maybe because of the pandemic few years ago that makes everyone need to teach through online learning, and lecturers are well prepared in those areas and also have a joining training for the online learning teaching. So the participation levels are vary on online learning classes. So some are always engaged while others participate only sometimes. So next is the description of finding. So for the first is technical barriers. So internet connectivity remains a persistent issue directly affecting learning continuity. So others is engagement and motivation. Many students reported neutral motivation and sporadic participation, suggesting that online format reduces interaction quality. Next is platform familiarity. Students use multiple platforms, but not all are confident navigating them. So some of them are much easier, are the most preferred by the students. Next is lecture quality. Despite challenges, many students acknowledge that lecturers are trying their best and often recorded materials that they find helpful for their future references. Next is about the discussion and analysis of findings. This study reveals a mixed sentiments toward online learning at UniKL. While my students appreciate the flexibility and recorded resources, motivation, communication, and technical readiness remain pressing concern. For example, like pedagogical gaps. The lack of real-time interaction and hands-on learning has affected engagement. Future strategies may involve hybrid teaching with increased collaborative tools, like currently used by UniKL. Next is training and support. Institutions must ensure that both students and staff are technically prepared. Regular digital literacy workshop could address this. And last but not least is mental health. A portion of students indicates that online learning contributes to stress, suggesting that the need for integrated counselling and academic support service. This is made due to lack of internet connectivity that makes the student feel left out from the syllabus. So in conclusion, online learning is an evolving space at UniKL. While the infrastructure and platform are largely in place, further emphasis on student support, mental well-being, and interactive pedagogy is vital. Addressing this factor will ensure that online education is both equitable and effective. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Darwish bin OTHMAN. So today I'm going to present about recommendation and conclusions. Let's go through the recommendation first. The first is improve digital infrastructure and accessibility. Some students don't have strong internet or device like laptops or tablets. Schools or institutions should work with local telecom providers or government programs to offer subsidized internet plans or free Wi-Fi hotspots. They should also let students borrow laptops or tablets, especially those in rural or low-income communities. Second, invest in teachers' training and support. Teachers need proper support to teach online. We suggest providing continuous training programs that focus on digital teaching skills. This includes how to create content, use learning management systems, and how to keep students engaged during online classes. Third, develop engaging, interactive content. To keep students interested, the content should be more fun and interactive. This means use videos, games, quizzes, and online discussion. Lessons should be suitable for different age group and learning styles so every student can enjoy and understand the material. The fourth is enhance communication channels. It's important to have clear and simple ways to communicate. Teachers and students should use consistent platforms like Google Meet, WhatsApp groups, or forum on learning system. Teachers can also set up virtual office hour or online support groups so students can ask questions and get help when needed. The last one is monitor and support student well-being. Online learning can be stressful or lonely for some students. Schools should do regular check-ins or short surveys to see how students are feeling. They can also assign mentors or peer supporters to help students both emotionally and academically, especially during long periods of online learning. Next, we go to the conclusion. This highlights that while online learning serves as an essential alternative during challenging times, it also exposed significant weaknesses including poor internet access, limited availability of digital devices, unengaging teaching methods, and reduced interaction between students and instructors. These challenges were especially served for students in rural or low-income areas, widening existing educational inequalities. To create a more resilient and inclusive education system, institutions must focus on improving digital infrastructure, providing proper training or educators for educators, developing engaging and flexible teaching approach, and supporting student well-being. Addressing this area is critical not only for overcoming current issue in remote learning but also for building a stronger and more equitable digital learning environment for the future.